I honestly did not think that Nintendo was all that good at E3.
Nah, I mean, they look good last year. Like, I mean, I gotta get like I always say that they're like, hey man, I know we've been slow, but we got all the stuff lined up, and like we're gonna have all these games, all this coming out. I mean, they had Bayonetta 2, that was rad.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and a lot of games are compatible with it, but this year, man, they just kind of. It's like, I mean, it was at least they opened up E3 with a Smash Bros panel. I was like, wow, that's either a really good kickoff or wow, no one cares about Nintendo this year.
And then this year they start off with Star Fox Zero, and it's like that's honestly the only game besides that and maybe Paper Jam that I want to get.
I mean,
So,
at least Star Fox is getting another game. It's been what, 10 years?
it's been since 2006 with Star Fox. Oh no, 2008 with Star Fox Command.
Oh yeah, that's right. Star Fox. I always feel bad for Star Fox. It's one of the OG Nintendo series, but it's like it doesn't get a lot of love or respect. It's like, it's not like people forgot about it, but it's like people have to be reminded that it's there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Fox and McCloud's in all the Smash Brothers games, so there's some kind of prominence. I mean, Xbox this year, it's like kind of the same rinse and repeat. Gears of War, Halo 5. I mean, obviously Halo 5 looks cool to me, but I was never a Gears of War guy. I mean, I have the one, so it's probably a good time to get into it, but
Yeah. So anyway, what do you think of the new MLP episode?
oh yeah, that was a thing. Yeah, it was okay. Are we done? Can I go back and play Arkham Knight now?
Yeah, we can do that. See
Okay.
you guys later.
Bye bye.
No,
No.
we're just kidding.
Sorry, I forgot. Just the indifference was strong with this episode.
Absolutely. Can we
Yeah.
say that we probably have the first official dud of the season?
I would have gladly have given that to Appaloosa's Most Wanted, but at least Appaloosa had the Eeyore shadow character and had a nice moral behind it. This one was kind of like,
Exactly.
man. It's like I told you off camera, dude. I should probably turn on my lower third.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's kind of a thing. There we go.
Yeah, there we go. Let's see what Season for Princess Spike. United Nations with Ponies. That's basically kind of what this was. Oh, should I turn it off?
Pretty much.
Oh, man, it's like off camera. I don't like. Spike's cool, dude. He's a pimp, but oh man, it's like I'm not giving up on his character, but it's just anything you get it. He has insecurity issues, and that would be a good character angle if it was just kind of consistent. Because there's like three Spikes. There's like the Spike, the sidekick, or the Spike kick that everyone just kind of forgets about, and then there's the witty, sarcastic one, like a la Lesson Zero. And then there's the clueless moron, like in Spike at Your Service.
Absolutely.
Well, this Spike was at least more self-aware, and he realized he was doing wrong, but he didn't really realize it until Princess Cadis basically said, "Spike, you forgot to set up the moral of the episode."
Yep. And it's like, oh crap, we still do those, don't we?
Yeah, it's like, damn it, it's 5 years. Can't kids just figure out not to be dicks on their own?
So anyway, episode starts off, and apparently there's like this equestrian summit thing that when I saw like all the different dignitaries and all that with like the badges around their necks and stuff, I'm like, oh my god, they have their own Comic-Con.
That's what I thought, and through some of the speeches, I was just like, man, they're wording this like it's a brony con. Oh. That statue thing was cool, where it was like a little gem from each of the cities.
I know, that was like really cool.
Yeah.
So apparently Twilight is like really tired. I mean, you could see bags under her eyes. It's so bad. Pretty much she said that she hadn't slept for 3 days straight, but she pulled it off and made it a good conference, and it's going to all start tonight at the welcome reception. And so that she's like, and now I'd like to give my faithful assistant Spike time to come and talk to you guys. He comes up,
It's
and
like,
it's just like,
what's up, guys? Then they're just like, get off the stage. We need our Twi'lek. And he's like, oh, okay, guys. I wish I was a princess.
yeah, right.
That was kind of a weird point of conflict. It's like if he would have been like, man, I wish I could have like the respect or the power or the authority even of a princess. That would have been fine. But in the episode, he straight up is like, man, he was like, man, I would like. He has people call him Princess Spike, and it's like that just seems a little dumb.
I agree. It was kind of stupid. So then they're up in, and I swear to you, this is the same tower that Rarity stayed at for Sweet and Elite. But Twilight comes pummeling in, and it's just like, Cadence is like, yeah, she hasn't slept for 3 days straight. And you see Twilight try to curl up with a bunch of books, and I'm just like, first, main six shipping, now the pancake, and then the books? What is going on?
Sleep deprived Twilight is most adorable Twilight.
Of course. It's adorable.
Oh my god. And you know, I'm surprised. Cadence didn't annoy me too much. I guess there's a time for everything. I don't know, man. I was just never a Cadence guy. So Cadence is like, okay, Spike, make sure that she gets her sleep. She is not to be disturbed. And I think we've learned now, you got to be a little more specific when you talk to Spike, because if you're vague with the dude, he's going to take what you said, run with it, and then we have an episode of him looking like a moron. Case in point, you know, he's walking around the room, and he's just like, okay, I got this. I got the moxie. And then he looks outside. He hears a little bird tweeting away. So the dude takes the time to run out of the room, because he's on like another tower, like some yards away. Scale the tower and just be like, "Hey, knock it off." The bird goes into Twilight's room and it starts going louder, and he's just like, "Dude, princess says go away," and Bird's like, "Okay, God, all right," and leaves, and he's like, Here's the construction work.
Here's what was funny though. I saw this GIF on Derpy Boo that it was literally, instead of a telescope that he's marching around with, it's a rifle, like a sniper rifle. And then he puts it up, and you see the baby carriage, and you see the other pony doing whatever, the stallion doing whatever, and then it switches over to the mime, and then you hear a gunshot. It's just like perfect. So funny.
Wonder how much longer, just because I know the internet, wonder how much longer someone takes that GIF and uses it as a Border Patrol joke.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just saying.
YouTube poop with that.
Oh my. Well,
it's just like, we gotta take out. It's like, what do we do now? We call in the Border Patrol. Rainbow Dash flies up. It's a bunch of Mexicans trying to flee. And it's just, she puts her glasses down. It's like, trash. Yeah.
You know,
so
you know, as a man,
it's so racist, but it's hysterical.
You know, as a man with Mexican blood in me, I gotta say that actually was kind of funny. I mean, really offensive, but you know what? The internet is such a tasteless, classless place a lot of the time, so nothing really surprises me anymore. I saw that same thing you're talking about, and my first thought was they didn't come up with that sooner. Wow, good for you, internet. So Spike's running along outside, and there's a dude working on a water pipe. And I like the different accents everyone has. Like this guy, he sounds like he's from back east, and he's just like, "Hey, dude." Spike's like, "Hey, dude, Twilight's trying to sleep. Shut it." And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Look, man, I gotta work on this pipe, or else water gonna explode that way." Know what I mean? He didn't sound like he was from Kentucky, but you know, He did right there. So Spike's like, by order of the princess, stop. He's like, all right. Spike goes, There's a dude, and this is really weird to me. There's a dude with a chainsaw sawing trees down, and he's like, stop. But he literally calls them dragon sneeze trees. Now, I'm all for world building, and if last episode showed that this world can only keep expanding and grow in its pure vastness and its depth and intricacy of its lore, but why in God's green earth is there an actual tree called a dragon sneezy tree, which sole exists to make dragons have allergies?
I honestly saw that as a Dr. Seuss reference.
It looked like it was drawn by the dude, but I just don't see. I don't see what purpose that serves in the great circle of life, Mufasa.
I know it was really kind of stupid. I'm just like, really? You're gonna go for that?
I mean, the gag was kind of funny. Well, later, but so you see, Spike is starting to like. Okay, one thing I can give the episode is like this little slight dynamic Spike started to have. He's like, dude, this is awesome, and this Manhattan guy and this chick from wherever they are in Canada, where they go, don't you know? Which was hilarious. But by the way, with quick question, because you're more in tune with the stuff, was she supposed to look like Megan McCarthy's OC?
I don't know. It kind of makes sense once you bring it up, but in all honesty, it was supposed to be a Fargo reference.
Fargo?
Yeah. It's a reference, don't you know?
Well, that seemed a little far-fetched to me.
But
that was... Don't bullshit me. That was a bad joke.
I know.
I'm tired. I was up all night playing. Well, I was up for 4 hours waiting for it to download. But I was up all night playing Batman.
Yes.
So
anyway,
intense.
so
yeah.
So pretty much. No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say. So they're just like they booked us for the same conference room. What do we do? And Spike said, and this is interesting to me. Spike's like, damn, I don't want to wake up Twilight. So what do I do? So he answers for Twilight. He's just like, Princess Share says that you guys should share. And they're like, well, okay, that's what Princess said. And really, I like when they're leaving, and they're just like, and they're literally just saying, no hard feelings. This isn't about me and you. This is about. I thought that was funny. And then he's like, huh. And it was funny because in the next scene, those two come back, and then there's a blue nerdy looking pony who's like, my friend took my chair, and Spike goes, Twilight says, forgive your friend, let bygones be bygones, and he's like, okay, cool. But at the same scene, I think the two ponies from earlier come back and say that the sharing thing didn't work, and it made me think, well, wait, those are things that Twilight would say. I mean, share, forgive your friend, and so that's about the last reasonable decision Spike tries to make. But I mean, he wasn't wrong in those morals.
Exactly. It's kind of like Spike's known her since he was born, so
Yeah.
you can honestly assume that he's gonna know Twilight best.
He even tells Cadence that he's like, I know Twilight so well, I can answer for her, no problem.
Yep. And so there's like a montage of him keep going with different decisions and whatnot. And then, he starts exploiting it. Like, he gets one of those things where he sits on a couch and has a guy draw like this, like, impressionistic interpretation of him. And it's like, yes, draw me like one of your French girls.
It's like the finger that what I think's of David. He's like reaching out, and then like God comes from the clouds, and they like touch hands or something. It was that same painting, and that pony looked like Leonardo da Vinci.
Yeah. So then, he starts eating gems, and he's just like, yes, but being a princess is great. And then Cadence comes in and completely just destroys that thing. Thankfully, it didn't last too long. So then you find out that the water main breaks and the trees fall over because they were too top heavy.
Mm-hmm.
The entire like ballroom is completely like
Flooded.
full of water, and Fancy Pants opens the door. Water floods out, and it's just like he goes up to the statue. It's just like, oh, thank God you're still safe. Phew. And then the dragon sneeze trees come in, and he's just like, oh no. And he does a huge sneeze right at the freaking statue, and I'm just like, turn your freaking head.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, come on,
It's
Spy.
motherfucker.
I know, right? You know, I get it, cartoon, but really, come on. This show's supposed to be all about, you know, good, smart writing and, you know, awesome characters, but also not treating its kid audiences like they're, you know, babies. So I mean, come on. Even I was watching this with a friend of mine, well, with my nephew that likes the show. He's like 10, and even he was just like, why didn't he just turn his head?
Yeah, right.
And I said, because plot convenience, my friend. Plot convenience. Because the statue breaks. So everyone's getting all mad at him. Fancy Pants leads a mob, which, by the way, a rich guy leading a mob. Just pointing that out there. He makes a point of saying how this is all Princess Twilight's fault. I will not allow her to disgrace Canterlot's name. And I said, well, technically you guys are like the big rich 1% bureaucracy of this world. So technically most people hate you by default. Mm-hmm. Just throwing that out there. So they get to her tower, which, by the way, I think you're right. That is the suite that Rarity stayed in, now that you pointed it out. And he's like, crap, what do I do? So they're yelling and bashing and crashing. She wakes up, and then she has to deal with fallout. And what happens next?
Well, pretty much, she's just like, is this because of the special privileges? Seems a bit excessive. And he's like,
that.
Privileges? What are you even talking about? And so they go into the ballroom and see the huge mess. And Twilight's like, well, one of the first things you need to know as a princess is know when you've made a mistake and you need to make up for it.
Tell that to Celestia.
Yeah, right. She just does it for the sake of her own amusement, honestly.
Celestia's canon.
So they try and make this one of those things that I've been seeing a lot of in season 5, where the first 2 acts are okay, and then the third one really touches me. They tried to do that with the rebuilding of the statue, but I'm still just like, I'm not even feeling it, honestly.
I mean, it was kind of cool when Fancy Pants like, you know, the point of the statue was that when we all put our little piece. No, the mayor says that. And he's like, when we all do our little part, we can make something bigger and greater. And I'm like, oh, that's a really good moral. That's actually awesome. Too bad it wasn't in a better episode.
Mm-hmm. By the way, this could probably also be why the episode wasn't all that great. It has three rookies to the scene for the writing of this episode.
Oh, really?
The story was by Jason Thiessen and Jim Miller, which is the president of Hasbro and the MLP franchise as a whole, respectively. And then it was written by a new guy called Neil Dustow, I believe it said.
Neil Dustow.
Really Neil Dustow. Mwah.
Well, you know, not everyone's gonna hit it off great the first time, unless you're Nastasia Levenger,
Mm-hmm.
or the one,
or Corey Powell.
Corey Powell. I don't know. Dave Polsky never disappointed me.
Dave Polsky was honestly good all around. But So
Or
that's Princess Spike.
yeah, Princess Spike. You go first.
Why? I mean, yeah. Is it as bad as Spike at Your Service? Hell no. Nothing's going to be as bad as that. Is it Equestria Games? No. It's, I'd honestly think it's somewhere in the middle of like something you'd honestly see in season one. Because as much as I love season one, there's a lot of episodes that are just, eh.
You know what it
You
is?
just go out of it thinking, eh?
Some of those I felt like at like the first time I watched them were like that. But it's like I go back and watch episodes from them now, and I'm just like, it's like even if the really good episodes almost feel one dimensional compared to some of the new ones, just in terms as in look and how they wrote the characters. I mean, obviously the fandoms influence the characters to a minimal degree, but
What really got me though, like I told like many months ago during I think it was like our Philly Vanilli review or something that I had shown my aunt one of the episodes and it was Sonic Rainboom and I'm like this kind of felt one note even though it's still a good episode it just felt one note. So I get where you're coming from there.
yeah, I mean, it's easy to do that with a Rainbow Dash episode, but even throwing that aside, like Sweet and Elite, one of the best episodes of the series, I watch it and I'm like, wow, that's awesome. But but season 4 and 5.
Yeah. And the funny part is that Sweet and Elite is what got me into the fandom in the first place.
See, I
So,
cheated because I unintentionally clicked on the season 2 date premiere and not the season 1. So my first episode was with Discord.
yeah,
I honestly think if it wasn't for that, I don't think I would have come back to the show as quickly as I did.
yeah.
But anyway, back to scores. What do you score the episode?
I'm probably going to put it at about a 5, I'd say, because it's not the worst thing in the world. And trust me, I hate giving low scores. I really do. But it's just didn't get me at all.
You
And it
know,
was more bad than good. So I'm going to put a 5.
the moral was really nice. It didn't feel as tacked on as other morals, but it's not that, and I don't hate, but like I'm always like, why do we always give the same scores for each episode? But yeah, no, I totally feel you on that 5, dude. That's what I was gonna go with.
So, yeah, honestly, I'm excited for what's going to happen next week. And the other thing that really got to me, though, what really made this even worse was the fact that I didn't even know what the episode was going to be even about. I had nothing before this episode came out. It'll probably be the same with this upcoming episode as well. But I'm
Well,
just like,
actually, I was really curious about that. Next week is going to be awesome because this one's a Pinkie Pie episode.
about.
It's called Party Pooped. It says Pinkie Pie must save an important summit gone wrong, and she travels across Equestria for inspiration. Wait, so is it a continuation of Princess Spike? Ooh.
I don't know.
Well, I love the Pinkie Pie episodes. That's good.
I know.
Also, since I'm here, I'm on the Wikipedia page. I'd like to point out to everyone that Tanks for the Memories is the highest viewed episode of the series, not series, of the season.
That is awesome. But here's the thing. It's got even more than Slice of Life.
Slice of Life. Oh wow, Slice of Life got only 4.3.
That's it?
You know what that is? That's people that heard about the episode and were just like, it's gonna focus on the side characters. Ew, that is them pandering to the bronies. I'm leaving the fandom. Seriously, have you gone through the comments at all for the videos of any slice of life episode? It is freaking pathetic. There are people on there like, man, this show sucks now. Man, they're just desperate now. Man, I stopped watching after the season 3 premiere. I stopped watching after blah blah blah. And it's just like, one, why are you on the video? And two, you guys are morons.
Exactly. And honestly, it could have also been that there were at least 1,000 people at MSP that were watching it that probably were not counted, because they really just judge this upon the people that actually watch it on television, not on streams and all that other stuff. So.
Oh yeah, because obviously more than 0.53 million people watch an episode.
Exactly.
Oh well. Pinkie Pie episode next week. Yes.
So yeah, that's about all we got for today.
Yep.
And that's all I got to say about that. Bye.
See ya.